I legitimately thought I was going to throw up in the middle of this. Not even in the middle. In the beginning of the intro, I genuinely thought I was about to throw up. Hey guys, Vsauce here. I'm back. First, I would just like to say thank you for all the support. You know, I just got this ability to make money off YouTube, and people have already sent me money, which is actually wild because if you think about it, like making money on YouTube, once you have the subscriber count and the subscriber count and the numbers, isn't really that hard. You post a video and you wait for it to get views. That's like, you know, you get ad revenue. That's how you make money. After the video is posted, there's not a lot you have to do with that video to give it more money. You just have to wait for the algorithm to do its thing. Just pray that you pick the right thumbnail, title, and make sure you made it entertaining, because that's how you make your money. But with me, who doesn't get ad revenue, and the only way I can make money is literally ask you guys to give it to me, that is huge. That I have a fan base. My channel's not big enough to have a fan base yet. That I have like 3 people to actually give me money. Now, if you don't know, I made this deal on my channel. If you want any manga, manhwa, comic, anything reviewed on this channel, all you have to do is send me the lowest amount, $2. I will review it. And I am doing that today. A person asked me, he actually for 2 reviews, but he sent $5, so I allowed it. He asked for a Naruto and One Piece review. I'm doing the One Piece review today because I've read a lot of One Piece, so I'm just going to blast through it. It'll be super easy. The D Gray Man video is coming up. I'm on like the 3rd volume. Naruto coming up. Bleach coming up. Like, I'm doing a lot right now, and I have to do a manga collection video. Like, we are going through it. I'm very thankful. And again, if you want to do that too, if you want any manga, I will even buy it. If you want any manga, comic reviewed on this channel, I will review it without question. I will even read it online if there is no physical freaking edition of it. Though I would like a physical edition. I'd prefer it. Now, I want to talk about One Piece. Now, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. One Piece is a very special series. It's in my top 3 favorite manga, really favorite pieces of medium of all time. And so many people have it higher than me, which makes sense. I haven't even gotten to the end of this thing. And it is very difficult to understand in my brain why One Piece works so well. Because on paper, One Piece should not work well, in my opinion. If you think about a very cartoonish, it is raining like crazy. If you think about a very cartoonish character, world, ideas, and just overall setting, also mixed in with a bunch of mature themes like slavery, oppression, suicide, like just all these different themes connected together, it shouldn't work. It genuinely should. It's like having a art style of Tom and Jerry have the same tone as Oppenheimer. They just don't mix. They clash so many times. Sorry, I hope my phone isn't getting cucked right now. Okay. They clash so many times. And so what I wanted to talk about here today is how One Piece makes the tone. There we go. How One Piece, I don't even know if that was good. Holy shit. I'm actually going to kill myself. How One Piece was able to make that tone work. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about why One Piece is good. They talked about the world building, the characters, the setting, the backstories, the power system, the villains. All fantastic reasons for One Piece to give as reasons on why it's so good, right? I heard that to death. I don't want to talk about that because you've already heard that everywhere. And I've probably talked about it in other videos anyway. So what I want to talk about is something I've never talked about and how One Piece deals with tone. Now, to get started, really you just have to look in the first volume and really just look in the first chapter. The first chapter / first volume / first anything opens up with a very daunting scene of Gold Roger, the famous pirate captain, getting executed. Right? Immediately cuts to this goofy art style of some kid, right? As soon as you look at it, I'll show you the image right here. As soon as you look about it, like, this kid is goofy as hell. Like, look how dumb he looks. But as you read the bubbles, as you read the words, this is how tough I am, immediately almost stabs himself in the eye. Now, that's only one point of what I am talking about here. I believe the reason why One Piece is able to handle its very cartoonish tone, but also serious tone so well, and make a mix so well, is because it retreats both of them respectively. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people, and this is including me sometimes, have problems with certain arcs where a character will get wrapped up in something that's very cartoonish. For example, in one of my favorite arcs in One Piece, Water 7, while they're trying to get one of their crewmates back from literally dying, they face a guy who makes ramen with his nose. You know, it's not very serious. But the reason why this is done so well and while it's still entertaining is because, we have Sanji being the, main character, but it's also actually funny. We like Sanji as a character. Well, I'm guessing most of you like Sanji as a character. So it's funny to see his reaction. Holy shit, a guy's making ramen with his nose. And there are a bunch of other parts of this, not even in the entire manga, just in Water 7. There's so many other pieces to this manga that show this example that I'm talking about, where the author will mix a very serious turn of events or just series of events, but add little sprinkles of comedy. This is something I think Marineford does very well with characters like Buggy and Mr. 3, because, while both of them in their own rights are very important to the story, especially the future of One Piece, they're joke characters. They're both comedic characters. Now, if you're watching the anime, I can understand why that's not very exciting for you, especially if their hijinks is of the span of like 3 episodes. That would get very annoying. But when you see one of your favorite characters die, or when you see like something crazy happen, or incredibly sad backstory is happening, it is so nice and relieving and refreshing for when Buggy is doing some dumb shit. And it's not that it's just dumb shit. It is funny dumb shit. It's almost as if Oda is taking these characters and scenarios and knowing that it has to be serious, is putting those little sprinkles of comedy because he knows that's how the characters would react. It almost makes it, and this is crazy to say, especially because it's One Piece, it almost makes the scenes more realistic and more serious when characters are being funny. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you have to bear with me. Another point I would like to make is the main point of this video. While yes, it juggles that very, very well, another reason why One Piece is so good is because its cartoonish art style makes those moments, those serious, sad moments, hit so much harder. I'm not talking about just jokes. Jokes are funny. They work. I think they're funny. A lot of other people think they're funny. Other than that, what else is cartoony? Well, the art style. And I think this is perfectly portrayed in the opening arc. Orange Town, Orange Village, one of those. Orange Town. It's the Buggy arc. It's literally the Buggy arc. Buggy is not taken seriously at all barely taken seriously in this arc, right? And while this is happening, while Zoro is in a cage and Luffy needs to break out the key, some dog eats the key, and you're in your brain, you're like, this is just some fucking dumb ass hijinks. Oh my god. Like, now this dog is gonna be the fucking main source of the problem. Now we have to beat up this dog and open up the cage somehow, right? And in your brain, you're like, this kind of sucks. And then you turn the page and you see this dog's backstory about his owner and how this building that his owner used to own is his only home left. That's his only treasure after his owner died of a sickness. And that's why he stays by it. That's why they can't like move past the building, is because this is his treasure. This is what he owns. This is all that he has. And it hits so much harder because you're not expecting it. I haven't read Berserk yet. I own a couple volumes, but I haven't read it yet. When you read Berserk, especially with the art style, you're expecting a serious tone. If something goofy happens in Berserk, I'm incredibly off-put, right? But in One Piece, it works so much harder because the reverse isn't exactly complementary. If that makes sense. A serious tone adding in goofy moments isn't going to work as well as a goofy tone adding in serious moments. And I think it works so well because Oda just takes it seriously. Other writers almost would be scared to do what Oda does, to make a serious moment in a cartoonish manga, in a cartoonish art style. They would almost be scared, maybe adding in a couple jokes here or there, make sure to lighten the mood. But Oda doesn't do that. He doesn't pull his punches. And like I said with this dog backstory, we learn, and it's sad, but that's not the sad part. And this is what makes Oda such a great writer and writing sad scenes. It's when Luffy fights like this fucking carnival ass villain, Moji or whatever his name is, with his lion. He beats him and he gives him a small bag of dog food. That's all he has left. It is such a good portrayal of Luffy's character. It is such a good portrayal of the overall tone of the entire rest of the One Piece manga. It is genuinely one of the best predecessors. What am I fucking saying? Predecessors? Holy shit. You know what I'm talking about. Predecessors? Oh my fucking, I'm actually killing myself. It's one of the best of that I have ever seen. And after that, we get hit with moment after moment after moment that is just heartbreaking to read. I think another way this is done really well, and a reason why this is such expertly crafted, is just Luffy as a character. Luffy is not very smart. I think most people know he's not smart at all. He's very simple-minded. He doesn't really understand a lot of stuff. And that is a precedent for jokes. So, precedent was the word I was looking for. Whatever. It's a precedent for jokes. It creates comedy by itself. When people are like, Luffy, we have to go get there. We have to get there. And then he goes, wait, who are you again? It's funny. But Luffy is also a very empathetic character. So when a whale is bashing his head on a freaking mountain for 50 years because he hasn't seen his friends in so long, and Luffy can comfort that whale, it hits so much harder because you know Luffy as someone who doesn't do that. You know Luffy as someone who isn't intelligent at all. So for him to get this, and for him to comfort this whale, or comfort this reindeer who has lost all faith in humanity, or comfort his crewmate that doesn't even know if she can live or not, it just hits so much harder than any other manga I have ever seen. It almost summarizes in a way almost like an arc, like an actual real life story told arc in One Piece. Is just Luffy interacting with these different people, and he doesn't do it to make them feel better. He does it because that's what he wants to do. It's not like he's going to Laboon or Chopper or Robin or whatever to make them feel better. He saves them because he wants to save them. And that contrasts so well with the cartoonish idea, just the idea of One Piece, the inherent idea of this cartoonish world of sky islands and islands on water, and well, islands on water, all islands are on water, or man-made islands, or ship islands, or a sand kingdom run by a guy named Crocodile. There's these inherent goofy ideas on paper that make you chuckle are taken with such seriousness that it almost feels breathtaking. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It genuinely is one of the best examples I have ever seen with tone. And yeah, just tone. Thank you for watching. I love One Piece. One Piece is one of my favorite series. I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and talk about every single character and why they're great. I could sit here hours and hours and hours, talk about the world building, talk about the setting, talk about the page composition, the art, the writing, just the pure, unadulterated writing. I didn't even talk about something that definitely deserves a mention. I didn't even talk about the scenes that hit the hardest, is when a character like Luffy is so goofy and so exhilarating and so happy and bouncing off the walls, when he gets sad and when he cries. It's almost like a certain representation of yourself while you're reading that manga. I remember the first time there's a scene, I don't really want to spoil too much about the manga. Yeah, I talked about certain stuff or whatever, but I don't want to spoil it so much where if you haven't read One Piece, you're not going to want to read it. But I'm going to get into spoiler territory here. There's a scene at this arc where they face off against this one guy, right? Now, every single time Luffy has done something stupid or punched a guy he shouldn't have in the face or done something careless, they've always come out on top. But what makes this arc, Sabaody Archipelagos, which I'm talking about, special is that they don't get out of it and that they have consequences that they actually have to deal with. Where Luffy is literally telling his crew to run. Do you know how crazy? Now, a lot of you haven't, maybe some of you haven't read One Piece, and if you haven't, that's totally fine. But for people who have read One Piece, you know what I mean when I say when Luffy cries or gets mad or you just feel that anchor on his heart. You know it's serious. And there's so many moments like that in Sabaody Archipelago, Marineford, post-war, even in Water 7 when he faces Usopp. That was the first moment when I knew One Piece was going to be a masterclass I read. I knew it before. I knew it at the Nami moment, the Chopper moment. I knew it through the entirety of Alabasta and Skypiea, but that was the moment that confirmed it. You know how, like, when pastors or people who are very religious talk about why they're religious, they'll say, like, oh yeah, I was religious for this long, but I didn't know it until this moment, until, you know, like, I don't even know, until I felt God. That's how I felt reading that Water 7 moment. I know that's a crazy comparison to compare One Piece to literal, like, God, but, like, you just have to trust in it. You just have to trust in it. Okay, now I'm actually going to go. Thank you. Thank you for the person that submitted that $5. The Naruto review is on the way. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Again, comment down below. Please comment, even if you don't have, you know, even if you don't donate anything, just comment down below. I read all your comments. I reply to every comment. Again, if you want a review of a manga, or comic, all you got to do is give me a super thanks, the lowest amount, and I will make a review out of it. I already made a review out of One Piece, so, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you out. Bye.